in 1999, when season 3 started, I was 15. And so by the time Dragon Ball Z ended in America, I was 19. But there were kids that were 9, not 19, 9. And so it's like 10 years apart. That's your Kwamans, your Black and Fist, that group. Dragon Ball Nation, I'm naming other Dragon Ball YouTubers. They all were in that group. So the 90s is like the second big boom period outside of like the Super era, because there were a lot of new fans. Toonami really did make a lot of new fans. And even though I hate the censorship of the dub, I'm glad the dub exists at the very least, because it kind of built my audience, because most of the people that watch me are in that age range.
And now there's something that like I want to know, because what's the most mind screwy thing that you had to deal with as a Gen 2er? Because for me and a lot of the Gen 3 kids, like one of the most confusing things is like I thought Gohan's son was Goten. I thought Goten was Gohan's son. And, because there was, all we had was Kai, and we had no Buu arc, but then you had the movies, and then you switch to GT, and you're like, wait, what's going on here? By the time we get to GT, I knew he wasn't his son. But, the first time through, right, you were watching Kai up through the movies from the Buu arc they showed on Nicktoons. I'm thinking, okay, is he Gohan's son? Is that Gohan's kid with Videl?
Well, very similar to you, I thought that Goten was Gohan's son. That is something I think a lot of people thought, because somebody brought to school, because this is all during high school, 9th grade. Somebody had brought to school a wall scroll of the Bio Broly movie poster. This is way before it was dubbed, and you see Broly in the back, like in the Bio Broly and like the tank, and then there's Goten and Trunks firing their blast. And I thought one of them was Gohan and one of them was Goten. And the guy who had it didn't know shit either, and he told me the same thing. There was another guy named Matt Farmer. I remember this guy vividly, who claims that his favorite episode of Dragon Ball Z is the one where Goku fought King Cold, and Goku was going Super Saiyan 3, and King Cold punched him and knocked him out of the form. Remember that episode?
I remember it. Say, like, when the fuck did that happen?
There was a lot of lies, bro. I was told that in Dragon Ball GT, Goku had a beard. Like, there were a lot of people that claimed to have seen the series that never saw shit.
This is the era where so much BS started to spread from this like point onward.
Yeah, but that era of the internet was crazy, because there were pictures and shit. We used to have floppy disks that had JPEGs on them, and there was all kinds of shit. We had little clips of like Janemba and Gogeta. Who?
Tablos.
No, this is before that. This is even before that, because I didn't find out about Tablos till later. This is like Ginga Giri Giri, PlanetNamek.com, the Black Goku, who had like really low quality episodes you could download. They were .rm and they were 10 megabyte episodes. You couldn't even see what the hell was going on. This is the early era, and it was this era of like wonderment, of like discovery. Like, who is this Majin Buu? What is this? Who's Dabura? Who's like, you see, like when you see Gogeta, you're not even sure what that is. The fusion pose. And then there were other kids in the school that had tapes that I didn't have, and so we traded. And some of the early tapes that I got is I got the Gohan killing Cell, which is episodes 188 to 191. Yeah, and then I got Frieza against Trunks, 119 to 121. I got the Android Saga, which is like 133 to 136. And if you're wondering how I memorized these numbers, it was because of these tapes, because people would write the numbers on the tapes. So instead of it being like, instead of it saying Dragon Ball Z Tree of Might, it would say Dragon Ball Z movie number 3, because everybody numbered. That's why if you listen to podcasts from older Dragon Ball fans, they're always like, oh, I saw movie 7, I saw movie 3. They all talk like that. That's how we all talked. Dragon Ball.
Yeah, because we all had our own lingo. Like, that's the thing about each generation has its own lingo. Like, that's yours.
Yeah, you're right. There was language. Yeah, there was a language thing. But yeah, that's what it became. So what happened was,